Hello everybody, I'm Brian Freedman, wine specialist for winechateau.com, and today we're tasting a really interesting wine. We have the Sylla Sebaste Barbera d'Alba 2004. Now, a couple of things that really interest me about this wine. First of all, 04, I've had great luck with the Piedmont wines from 04. The only issue is I'm holding on to my Barolos from 04. I'm holding on to my Barbarescos for 04. So the question always becomes, what do you drink in the meantime? For me, I definitely tend to gravitate towards my Barberas, towards my Dolcettos, and something like this especially, I think you'll be surprised how well it's doing this far along in its evolution. So, interesting here, a couple of things. This is a Barbera d'Alba. Typically in the store you'll see two options. You're going to see Barbera d'Alba and Barbera d'Asti. For me personally, I tend to, in general actually, prefer the Albas a little bit more, especially for drinking on their own. I find there's a little bit more plushness to them, maybe a little bit more, I guess the technical wine term would be oomph. That might be French in derivation, I'm not sure. Whereas the Barbera d'Astis, they have a little bit more acidity in my experience. They're maybe a little bit more high-toned. Again, this doesn't work across the board. This is just coming from my personal experience. Let's actually see how this 04 Barbera d'Alba is showing today. Wow, that's dark. I mean, really dark. And what I mean here is there's something almost like a little bonfire note. There's a ton of smokiness going on here. Something that you often read in Robert Parker. He would describe this as smelling like sous bois, which quite honestly is a fancy French way of saying forest floor. But I think that's an accurate description here. The fruit is definitely tending towards the much darker berry characteristic, darker fruit, black fruit. Give it a taste. And yet, so typical of Barbera. Despite all of that richness and that base note heft on the nose, there's this singing acidity that's slicing right through all of that. And it just lifts it right up. This is going to be a spectacular food wine. And again, I don't want you to get the wrong impression from what I said in the beginning. For me, Barberas are food wines through and through. But if on the off chance I were to open up a Barbera and not have it with food, or maybe even one glass before dinner, I'd tend to make it an Alba, but this one, quite honestly, I think you want the food with it. I think you need the food with it. Delicious wine, great expression of the vintage, and quite true to the Alba tradition. Definitely enjoy this. It's on sale now. I'm Brian Freedman, wine specialist at Wine Chateau, and cheers. Hello everybody, welcome to uncorkdeals.com. The Saucel Family Vineyard I don't know what we want to say. One of the big retake.